Gordan, a must-win game after 2 games of a season for Jose Mourinho. There's that much pressure and focus, as we all like to do, talk about Manchester United, and the noises that are coming out. Is he in a position now where this has to be a must-win?
Don't think so. Sorry, I disagree with you right away.
It's OK.
But I think it's a must-perform, because I think most people, you can get beat. But what did everybody talk about? The way they performed rather than the defeat. Because they got beat. But I think everybody forgot beat. It was how did they perform? How did the players react? How did they deal with the game? How did they deal with going down? And how did the manager react? So I think it's all about performing. And I think that's what everybody will be looking at. Because if they don't perform, I think that can be a right problem for them. As a group. Forget what the media are saying. But as a group themselves. And because I think the one thing that you're wanting is a performance, because the players that they've got are top players. If you said to OK, have a look at that, there's some top players there. Maybe they've not got their best defensive unit out, I understand that, but still good enough to win games. But performance is the biggest thing. And if they perform and it's a draw, fine. But I think the manager and the players would want a performance, so nobody can question the work rate, application. And I think that's the worst thing it can be aimed at you with the media, your application. I don't know anything. I could say, have a bad game, I've not got a problem with that.
Well,
applications
everyone has a bad game, but it was quite worrying. Pogba coming out and their attitude was wrong. You know, going into a game like that, you know you're Manchester United. Gordan's played for Man United. Every time someone plays against Man United, they up their game. That's their cup final. And Brighton probably knew that let's get that first tackle in and let's see if they fancy it. And if 2 or 3 players don't fancy it, you get beaten in the Premier League. So I think the reaction is going to be very important as well. Look, it's at Old Trafford against a very good Spurs side, so you expect the fans to get right behind Manchester United. But you know the performances, as Gordan says, they're so important.
For you,
they bounce back.
For you, I find it very strange that a captain can come out. Now it might have got lost in translation here. You know, it might have got lost. For you, if you were sitting in the dressing room and you've seen that, because there's TVs in there sometimes, and the boys watch a bit of that, and they've seen that, how would you as a player, knowing fine that you gave your best, but you had a stinker? Because we can all have that. We've all,
of course you can.
And sometimes when you're playing badly, it looks like you're not trying, because we're talking about one player in particular, we all think he's a decent player, but at times he looks like he's no interest, but sometimes that confidence you give. So if you're trying your hardest and somebody else is saying, by the way, we're not trying. I don't know how you would react to that.
Well, certainly when you walk off that pitch, Gordan, I don't know about you, I think you was like this as a player as well. I mean, you give everything. You give everything for the cause, for your teammates, for your club, for yourself. And probably against Brighton, there was probably 3 or 4 players who walked off that pitch and probably said, do you know what, I could have done 20% more today. I could have done 20% more and would have helped my teammates and maybe would have got a result. But you can't have that now. You know, you've got to come off, and sometimes you've got to hold your hands up. It's a bad day at the office. Everything didn't go well for me. You can get away with that, but it's when the attitude is wrong. And I was surprised myself. I mean, I couldn't imagine Tony Adams saying our attitude was wrong today.
But surely,
that's why we lost the game.
And isn't it even more surprising in a sense we're talking about an elite-level football club that's aspiring to get back to the top of the Premier League? They've seen the standards and the level that's been set by Manchester City and other teams in recent years. For Manchester United, as you say, the finger to be pointed at is an application, an attitude, not
you've got to be
not the standard. I mean, we'll come on to the standard of the squad in a little bit. Is
that not recruitment though? Because everybody talks about he can run, he can do this, he does that, but
character,
good people. I think I was listening to the documentary with Shankly. It was like, first of all, they need to be fitter, they need to be able to touch, control, but they, as you said, need to be good men. You know, so good men will stand by. And I'm surprised that's been. Listen, I don't know if any of them weren't trying. That's only one guy said that, and somebody else. They could have all been trying. Yeah. Maybe it's just a bad day, or maybe here's one. They're maybe not good enough to play for Manchester United, and it's not their fault that they're there. There's nothing worse than being somewhere you think it's too much for me.
Does this come off the back of a fragmented pre-season where we see a lot of fingers being pointed? If it was quite quiet and then suddenly they had a bad game, is it then suddenly mark it off, it's a bad game, let's be better the next game? Suddenly there's so much more to the narrative, isn't there?
Absolutely, but you're correct with it. But I've seen people going to Old Trafford and crumbling and find it very hard to get on the pitch. And not because they're bad people, not because I'm trying, because it just got too much for them. But as you said, it's. I think the first game was just all right. They wanted better, and it's probably a continuation from last year where Man City were that good. Because in terms of picking up points, I don't think they were that bad last year, Man United. I don't know where they would have finished normally, but just they were up against it.
City was so good. Yeah. 19 points behind.
And what happens now is people start to panic at this time. Everybody, players, managers, the media, they all start to panic.
Yeah, you look at the situation now with Manchester United, and you need a reaction. But they have got, as Gordan said, they've got quality players. You know, if you can't get that group of players to win football matches, no disrespect to Brighton, they should be going there and saying, look, we're Manchester United. You know, this is a tricky game, but we can overcome it. And you see City do it every single week.
It looked like Man United were waiting. This is Brighton. Brighton will make a mistake somewhere along the line.
We can turn up and...
Brighton wouldn't probably score 3 goals. But we'll get something and come along there. I think that looked at the mentality. It was a case of, well, it's Brighton. They'll not score maybe 3, but we'll score a couple. But they scored the 3.